Accurate Insurance is our newest sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 508 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for life and health, commercial, crop and farm, or personal insurance? Then give Accurate Insurance a call today at 712-527-9106 for your free quote today. Stop down and see Scott and Laura Barrett at 401 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Barrett Auto is your local complete auto service car dealership. Barrett Auto Center has a wide variety of vehicles for all your needs. If they don't have it, they'll find it. Also, stop by and see their Hercules tires. They come with a 3-year free road hazard nationwide, along with a 30-day test trial. Check out their website at barrettautocenter.com, or just give them a call at 712-527-5525. Barrett Auto Center. Looking for a place to eat? Well, stop down at El Porton here in Glenwood, Iowa. El Porton is a family-owned Mexican grill located at 612 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for a good bite to eat after the game? Well, stop down and check out their daily specials. El Porton. Looking for a place to bank? Well, check out Glenwood State Bank, because they're back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. Located at 32 North Walnut on the west side of the square in Glenwood, Iowa, Glenwood State Bank has been serving southwest Iowa since 1899. Glenwood State Bank is the bank for all your needs. Check out their online services at glenwoodstatebank.com or give them a call at 712-527-3157. Looking for a spot to store all your goods? Well, contact Iowa Storage here in Glenwood, Iowa. Glenwood Iowa Storage is located at 50619 220th Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. They offer multiple sizes of storage units along with outdoor concrete storage. Give them a call today at 712-527-3311 and reserve your unit today at Iowa Storage. Are you in need of a new or used vehicle? Then head over to Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Take the new bridge over and talk with Glenwood's Dave Wilson at 402-296-3210 for your next new or used vehicle. Jeff Henry Chevrolet is located in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. No matter who you are, they have your car at Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Check out their line of vehicles and more at jeffhenrychevrolet.com. Jim Hughes Real Estate is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 410 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking to buy, sell, or rent a house? Well, look no further than Glenwood's very own Jim Hughes Real Estate. You can contact Jim Hughes Real Estate at 712-527-3114 or visit their website at jimhughesrealestate.com. Looking for a place to get your dog groomed? Well, stop by Sharp Street Groomers, located at 102 South Walnut here on the town square in Glenwood, Iowa. Sharp Street Groomers is a place for your dog to get pampered. Whether your dog needs nail trim, bath, cut, or furminated, stop by or give them a call at 712-527-5553. Sharp Street Groomers, we take all shapes and sizes. State Farm Insurance with Marty Stavas is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. State Farm Insurance is located at 10 North Locust here in Glenwood, Iowa. State Farm Insurance offers auto, home, life, and renters insurance. You can give them a call at 712-527-5480 or check out their website at statefarm.com. Accurate Insurance is our newest sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 508 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for life and health, commercial, crop and farm, or personal insurance? Then give Accurate Insurance a call today at 712-527-9106 for your free quote today. Stop down and see Scott and Laura Barrett at 401 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Barrett Auto is your local complete auto service car dealership. Barrett Auto Center has a wide variety of vehicles for all your needs. If they don't have it, they'll find it. Also, stop by and see their Hercules tires. They come with a 3-year free road hazard nationwide, along with a 30-day test trial. Check out their website at barrettautocenter.com or just give them a call at 712-527-5525. Barrett Auto Center. Looking for a place to eat? Well, stop down at El Porton here in Glenwood, Iowa. El Porton is a family-owned Mexican grill located at 612 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for a good bite to eat after the game? Well, stop down and check out their daily specials. El Porton. Looking for a place to bank? Well, check out Glenwood State Bank, because they're back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. Located at 32 North Walnut on the west side of the square in Glenwood, Iowa, Glenwood State Bank has been serving southwest Iowa since 1899. Glenwood State Bank is the bank for all your needs. Check out their online services at glenwoodstatebank.com or give them a call at 712-527-3157. Looking for a spot to store all your goods? Well, contact Iowa Storage here in Glenwood, Iowa. Glenwood's Iowa Storage is located at 50619 220th Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. They offer multiple sizes of storage units along with outdoor concrete storage. Give them a call today at 712-527-3311 and reserve your unit today at Iowa Storage. Are you in need of a new or used vehicle? Then head over to Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Take the new bridge over and talk with Glenwood's Dave Wilson at 402-296-3210 for your next new or used vehicle. Jeff Henry Chevrolet is located in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. No matter who you are, they have your car at Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Check out their line of vehicles and more at jeffhenrychevrolet.com. Jim Hughes Real Estate is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. Located at 410 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking to buy, sell, or rent a house? Well, look no further than Glenwood's very own Jim Hughes Real Estate. You can contact Jim Hughes Real Estate at 712-527-3114 or visit their website at jimhughesrealestate.com. Looking for a place to get your dog groomed? Well, stop by Sharp Street Groomers, located at 102 South Walnut, here on the town square in Glenwood, Iowa. Sharp Street Groomers is a place for your dog to get pampered. Whether your dog needs nail trim, bath, cut, or furminated, stop by or give them a call at 712-527-5553. Sharp Street Groomers, we take all shapes and sizes. State Farm Insurance with Marty Stavas is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. State Farm Insurance is located at 10 North Locust here in Glenwood, Iowa. State Farm Insurance offers auto, home, life, and renters insurance. You can give them a call at 712-527-5480 or check out their website at statefarm.com. Accurate Insurance is our newest sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 508 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for life and health, commercial, crop and farm, or personal insurance?
Alright, good evening folks. This is Kevin Tucker on GlenwoodSports.com, joined once again by Matt Dyer. And Matt, you know, as we were talking, a big tournament last weekend, the Ed Winger Classic. I thought Glenwood did had a really good showing there. As Sherry's going to come out here and get the first one of the day on forfeit. But you know, Caleb wrestled well. I thought, you know, Bales wrestled well as far as, and as along with Anderson.
Yeah, those guys. That's a very tough 3A, predominantly 3A tournament there. Southeast Polk Valley, there's a lot of tough teams in there. And past couple of years, Glenwood's gone up there and represented pretty well. Always coming home with a championship is always a big deal. Sanders gets to see some tough competition there. Got to see a couple ranked wrestlers. Bales got to see a couple ranked wrestlers. So coming out of that tournament, seeing what the other competition is, being in a 3A school in this area, we don't see a lot of teams. So we got to go do some traveling. And, that gets those guys ready to go. Got a few guys that are dinged up. Looks like we got old Dylan Weiser tonight out there for heavyweight wrestler.
Yeah, so 3 straight forfeits for the Kuemper Knights gives Glenwood an 18-0 team lead. And now Dylan Weiser, the senior, will wrestle against Kuemper, and Caleb Sanders will wrestle against Denison, I've been told.
Dylan, here's a kid who started off wrestling varsity as a freshman, got hurt at the Harlan tournament. Sanders steps in, and everybody knows kind of Sanders' career, qualifies as a freshman, places in the state the past 2 years, and Dylan's been kind of sitting behind him. Any high school in the state right now would love to have Dylan Weiser as a heavyweight wrestler, and you can thank Dylan Weiser for Sanders being as good as he is to have that good of a partner in the workout room with him every day. Lat toss there by Weiser going for the fall here.
And I mentioned that earlier, give credit to Weiser. It'd be really easy for a guy like him just to not go out when you have a guy like Sanders. But as you talked about, those two guys in the wrestling weight room is, some of the best competition in the state.
Yeah, and a lot of it, to be honest with you, carried over from football. Both these guys played 4 years of high school football together, and Dylan could have sat out this senior year and said, you know what, I'm not going to wrestle. I'm getting ready to go play football Morningside. I don't need to go out, but hats off to him for helping his buddy out and helping the team out, and like I said, this kid, if we could qualify 2 heavyweights in 3A out of our town, Dylan would be in there. He'd probably be in the top 3 of the state tournament as well. Weiser looking for the fall here with about a little over 30 seconds left in the match.
Yeah, Weiser this year, I know he's wrestled a lot of JV tournaments and won those, and every once in a while they will throw him in a situation like this. And to my knowledge, I haven't seen him have a loss this season.
No. They sent him over to the trainer tournament earlier on, which was a varsity tournament. It's weird. Sanders and McConkey go back and forth from Atlantic all these years, back and forth. I don't think Weiser ever got beat by him yet in high school. Weiser got a stack here. There's a kid who I know he'll play football at Morningside, but I tell you what, if I'm the Morningside wrestling coach, I'd be getting on the phone and getting hold of him. He'd be a very successful college wrestler. Weiser with the fall with about 8 seconds left in the first period there.
So a commanding early lead here for Glenwood, 24-0. And we'll now go to 106. It'll be Dalton Bell for Glenwood. And it'll be 7th ranked kid in 2A, Benjamin Schmidt for the Kuemper Knights. Coming in tonight, Kuemper, a team who I believe they're coming in 11-16 in the conference. They're 1-7. They did, however, take down the Denison Monarchs earlier tonight, who Glenwood will wrestle later on. But watching the first meet between Denison and Kuemper, Matt, and this kid's a pretty good kid here for at 106.
That Schmidt name's been around for Kuemper for a couple of years here. I'm betting he's had a couple brothers. I know high altitude wrestling with my old roommate Chad Tunick from Buena Vista. He holds a satellite club out of Kuemper, so I know some of these guys have been wrestling out of there. I bet you Schmidt here definitely been in there. Tough on top there. He had a nice high crotch, threw in a leg here. Now he's got book whipped over with like kind of a neck wrench with a leg in, looking for a fall. And he got the fall there with a minute left in the first period. Kuemper in the past couple years has had some pretty decent lower weights. I think a couple years ago they had a couple guys there. that eventually went from 106 to about 145. I think there's 2 or 3 of them that ended up placing 2 or 3 times in the state tournament.
113, Glenwood will get the forfeit here with Tyler Huey, a freshman, kid who moved in to town this year.
Yeah, I worked with Tyler's dad, and Tyler's a good kid, good looking freshman. I think he's going to get a little bit bigger. He's got a frame on him there. It looks like he's going to sprout up. Riker Case out there getting another forfeit. There's another kid. His chest and arms look like they're getting bigger as we speak. I know talking to coaches, Riker's, he has a hard time getting down to weight some days. Dalton Book, state qualifier from Glenwood, coming out on the mat. We're going to go against Stone Galing from Kuemper. Dalton's had a pretty good season this year, been in some tournaments, and moving up from 106 to 126 is a tough move for a freshman to a sophomore now. You get in those lower weights at 106, you wrestle a lot of freshmen. As you move up, you generally run into older, bigger kids.
36-6, a 30-point lead here for Glenwood, 126-pound weight class. As Matt mentioned, Dalton Book for Glenwood, and it'll be Galing for the Kuemper Knights. A sophomore versus sophomore matchup here in the Hawkeye 10.
Book with a good stand-up there, coming out in front. Hasn't quite got the 1 yet. And he got a 2 reversal. Dalton's pretty tough on top. He has a good tilt series and can run a mean armbar.
The Rams in the latest polls I saw for tournament team, Matt, we're ranked 5th in the state, Class 3A, and I think as we dropped one guy tonight with the flu, getting a little bit more healthy now for these Glenwood Ram lineup, and right when it I think really counts.
Yeah, this month Glenwood has a very tough schedule with a lot of the meets that we go to, and it's just that time of year where kids get sick and things like that. Got the Hawkeye 10 coming up here this weekend at Lewis Central, and then they'll have a week off there before district. So hopefully everybody gets healthy, gets those bumps and bruises worked out, and get healthy for the season. Book's got a ball and chain here, looking to go tilt. Now he's looking to stack. There's about a little less than a minute left in this period. Scores 2-2. Now this is the type of year where now he's going to stud this out. Should have kept that and walked around to his head. Good hard half here. He's got his hand kind of between his legs there. He runs a half on that far side. That guy has nothing to stop that. Kind of got a cradle with no hands locked. And Kuemper's out. Score 3-2 with about 20 seconds left in the first period. Go behind. 4-3, Book up. 14 seconds left. He's going back to that 2-on-1 tilt here, going back to that ball and chain. Here we go.
Reminds me of a lot of the same move that Creston likes in their lower weight class.
Yep. Those guys are definitely good on those tilts. Again, talking about the season here as we wind down, Book going to choose down here. Conference coming up Saturday. It's going to, after watching in Glenwood and a bunch of the Lewis Central, that duel, I was really surprised with Lewis Central's lower weights. Book with a good stand-up there. Coming out, give him 2 for the reversal. And he whips him over on his back. He's got that tight. He's got to sink both legs in and stretch them out. And the fall. Talk about conference. Lewis Central, that duel we broadcast with them, those guys look really solid in their lower weights. Have a few guys in their upper weights that can make them very dangerous at Hawkeye 10. Atlantic's been wrestling really well lately. They don't have, I would say, the stud power that they used to, but they're really consistent. And you can never count Creston out because they're always in there. So conference here Saturday is going to be an interesting little duel there. Cruson steps out for a forfeit at 132. Dual meet score right now is 48-6. Glenwood over Kuemper. Tanner Maxwell coming out at 138.
So 5 forfeits already. Glenwood has won on 5 forfeits here at 48-6 at 138-pound weight class.
Kind of whip over here. Keeps that Kelly, puts him to his back. 2 points, no near fall. Ooh. Tanner's got to keep moving here. Guy's not too bad on bottom there. Tanner got a kind of good tight waist here. He's bumping sides, kind of spiral ride, and needs to control those hips more and bump the hips down. There he does. Got a good claw ride. Oh, hanging his head a little bit. Needs to post back. Good claw ride there to the left side. Needs to control those hips and bring them down. Kind of falls into a headlock position here in a funky scramble. He's going to get his near fall. Needs to circle to his head and lift his head up off the mat. That guy's trapping his legs, or we're going to get a roll through here. Got the 3 back points. Kind of a bad position. Kind of hits him with a Granby here again, but we're out of bounds. No points.
43 seconds to go in the first period. It's 5-0. Maxwell here taking on Colin, a sophomore for these Kuemper Knights.
Good pressure forward. He's got to bump those hips down with his inside arm there. Right arm around the waist. Now he's got him on his belly. That's where we want to be for our breakdowns. Breaking guys down to his belly. Got a near wrist. Got a good half. Oh, should have kept it. Kuemper doing a good job of doing some rolling down underneath here. Kind of keeps us on our toes. Back to our cross wrist series here. Gonna roll through. No back points yet. There we go. Now we're counting just a 1, 2. Now we're getting our back points. Time runs out. Maxwell gets 3 more back points into the first 8-0 Glenwood.
48-6 as we start the second period here. 138-pound weight class. This is the second duel of the night. The first one, it was these Kuemper Knights defeated Denison, and the Rams will take on the Monarchs here in the third duel.
Maxwell with a deep underhook on that side, kind of shoots, needs to keep cutting corner to chop cross. Okay, he swings over, gets his 2. 10-0, 146, second period, Maxwell on top. Now he's got to be careful. This guy's kind of been doing some near arm rolls and some side rolls on us. We've got to control his hips, otherwise we can get put to our back. Switch attempt by Kuemper. Stuff by Maxwell here. Got a near wrist, left side. Sinking in, appears to be an arm bar. No, not yet. Good wrist control, driving it forward. He's got to bump those hips down. Got a cross wrist to go for that tilt again. Tilts him over. Getting a couple count. Got to really pull hard there so he doesn't bridge out over on top of us.
10-0 Maxwell, now 13-0. Maxwell trying to get a win here on senior night.
Good spiral again. He's got to pull those hips down. Now he's got him back down to his belly. We're going to try that tilt probably one more time here. He's got a minute left in the second period. Got good near wrist control there. Off to the left side. Got to keep breaking those hips down. He's got good forward pressure. We got to get our turn. We got to get those hips down. Heavy here. Oh, tried to get a little bit, didn't get through. You guys got to step over high hips, which is not a good idea. Tanner doing a good job of controlling that right side with that wrist. Pick that leg, step through, and turn. Got a cradle he could go for here. I think we're going to possibly ride this period out. Good hard half there. Jump sides and take it hard.
Down to 15 seconds here in the second period.
Getting a little high. He needs to get back on his hips a little bit more. And give up an easy reversal.
2 seconds.
No points. He doesn't call it. Says time was done. And Kuemper does not like the call.
A close call there. It was right at the last second. On the mat, right on the edge.
Dan's going to go back on top here. Need a 2-point turn, get a tech ball here. Look for him to go back on that 2-on-1 series tilt here. Suck back attempt. Doesn't get much there. He's doing a good job of controlling that left arm and left wrist. Jump sides. Just run it hard. Run that half hard, get you 2 points. Good tight waist, good chop. He's having a hard time turning him because the guy's hips are up so high. He's doing a good job putting weight forward on his hands, stopping from any turns or the guy's legs. He's still up. There we go. Now he's got his tilt. Got a 2 count. He gets his 2 back points, and you're going to call a tech ball here.
One minute to go in the third period. It's 13-0. Maxwell with the lead.
Must not have held him down very long. Now he's got his 2. There you go. There's a tech ball. 15-0. 52 seconds left, third period. Maxwell wins. Up next, Trevor Anderson, ranked 2nd in the state. Anderson's wrestled the number 1 ranked wrestler twice now. Kate DeVos from Southeast Polk. Last weekend was 7-3 match. First time they wrestled, I think it was a 3-2 match. Talking to Trevor, he says, yeah, I learned quite a few things there in that match, and I know what I need to do when it comes to the state tournament to wrestle him. So, you know, Trevor's always been a big gamer come state tournament time, and I know he'll be ready to go.
53-6. Glenwood with the lead now.
Anderson coming out against Ethan Scott from Kuemper. Good heavy hands on the head, good single leg by Anderson, good trip. Young guys watching, that was a great setup, a great shot, a great finish.
I'll mention, you know, with Hawkeye 10 coming up, Trevor Anderson, folks, has a chance to be a 3-time Hawkeye 10 champion. And, you know, we look down at the program, it's pretty of a select crew there.
Yeah, there's not, I mean, it's a big deal to win. I mean, our conference has always been tough. It's a big deal to win it. Then if you win it more than once, you're an elite crew. And then you're in that 3-4, it makes it even more elite. Nice tight cradle by Anderson here. Got that bottom knee in the side. You know, Glenwood's only had 2 4-time conference champs, and the last one was Ricky Marino. Anderson with the fall, 1:17 left in the first period. Last guy to do it was Rick Marino in 1992. Had several guys, there's been 1, 2, 3, 5 of us that have gotten 3-time conference champs. Matt Malcolm, the last one there, and we've got quite a few 2-time conference champs. So it goes to show you that, you know, we come from Glenwood and traditionally rich wrestling program. Conference titles aren't something that are easy to get.
Yeah, you know, until I saw this today, you know, Trevor's always been that guy who you said, I think, wrestled the great, you know, 4 years, obviously. And then here's the shot, and Trevor Anderson got, you know, a 3-timer. Huge.
Jordan Renshaw here at 152 for Glenwood. He's going to go against Zach Daniel. Hey, you got a guy out here, 2-time state champ. You got a guy named Jeff Jens. The guy was a 2-time undefeated state champ for Glenwood and didn't lose a match in 2 years, and he only won the conference twice. You know, Madison's in there, state champ. You got Copsey in there, who's state champ. So, I mean, those things are hard to come by. You know, with Lewis Central, Creston, Atlantic, all these tough teams in our conference. I don't know, man. You rank that right up there with any other tournament, to be honest with you. Renshaw with a quick takedown and a quick escape by Kuemper. Another takedown by Renshaw.
59-6. Right now, Glenwood on top of Kuemper here in second duel of the evening.
Jordan's coming. Speaking of seniors, Jordan's been to the state tournament a couple times now. Be really nice for him to get there this year and come out with a medal. Jordan's been working hard, I know, and him and Anderson worked out quite a bit together. It'd be really nice to see Jordan finish his career with a medal. That's the thing. 3A, Jordan with that tilt he likes, sneaking over there. Get the count back point count. depending on how many guys would qualify, 3A is a tough team. Southeast Polk is going to be in there with a lot of tough individuals. Valley, Waukee, Johnston, all those Des Moines area schools are looking to have quite a few qualifiers. 3A is a lot different than 2A. 3A, you're going to have a lot of guys place, and they're going to have to place pretty high. Where in 2A or 1A, you could have one guy in the finals and 2 or 3 guys on the backside, and that'd get you in the top 5. 3A, you're going to need a lot of guys, and they're going to need to place pretty high. Renshaw with another good tilt there. Score is now 6-1 with about 10 seconds left in the period. Closing out this first period, 3-point near fall, 9-1 Renshaw.
Going back to Anderson, I didn't mention this, but he picked up his 150th career win on over the weekend.
Good.
So.
You get watching so much, you forget about that. When I was in school, it was a big deal to get 100 wins. I mean, it was unheard of. Guys getting 150, 160. Now, most of these kids are getting 100 wins by the time they're end of their sophomore year, early to their junior year. Getting that 150, that's a big deal. Jordan out with his reversal there. He didn't get the escape, just got the reversal. 11-1. Minute 45 left. Jordan got a good hammer lock here. Looking to slip an armbar. He's pretty tough with this armbar. He got good pressure forward. He's got to sink his hips now. He got that forearm. This guy's kind of slid out. Turn to his head. Sink a half. That's tight. He's doing a good job fighting off his back. 3 near fall here makes it 14-1 with just over a minute left. Renshaw gets a 14-2 with the escape. Renshaw's going to need about 2-3 more points here. Good underhook. Use that and take your shot with it. He dug that underhook tight. Out of bounds. 48 seconds left in the second period. Cole Fruce looks like he's warming up to come out at 160 next match.
And Fruce, a guy who's injured.
Yeah, and then
for a little while.
He's injured, and then with Maurer kind of going down and guys moving around on weight classes, so good heavy hands by Renshaw. Good firemen's. Oh, called him out of bounds. Dang it. 30 seconds left here in the second period. Renshaw up 14-2. Senior night tonight for Glenwood wrestlers. There's quite a few senior guys. Cruson, Maxwell, Anderson, Renshaw. Go through a list here. Trevor Anderson, Isaac Bales, Brian Cruson, Kenny Lampin, Tanner Maxwell, Jacob Pestle, Jordan Renshaw, Caleb Sanders, Anthony Sherry, Trevor Stanley, Dylan Weiser, manager Gracie Goose. All these guys have their last duel and helping out here in Glenwood for their last duel of the season. Renshaw with another takedown with 2 seconds left. Is he going to give him the back points? He does. Ends the match 18-2 with a tech fall in the second period. Glenwood up 64-6 on Kuemper. Cole Foose coming out on the mat at 160. Cole will be taking on, looks like Zach Husling, who's a senior for Kuemper.
Saw a tweet earlier tonight. This senior class has 625 wins, over 60 dual wins, 12 state qualifiers, 8 state place winners, I should say, and a 3.4 cumulative grade point average. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. As I've gotten older, you can have all the state titles you want. If you ain't got a GPA, you're going to have a job. So that's pretty cool. Those guys all have above a 3.0 GPA and doing as well as they are. That's pretty cool. The Predicament has a all academic team, and I always wanted to have, as a coach, try to have a guy on there. And had Colin and White and Steve Gutschenreiter and a couple of these guys that are pretty academic. And I think one of the last guys we had on that predicament team was Gutschenreiter for a predicament All-American. We haven't had very many of them come out of there. Who's got kind of caught up in a scramble there, giving up a takedown. Down 2-0. He needs to let go of the leg and just get his hips out and move around.
I don't know what that is.
These are just place winners. The predicament academic one, geez, I say Gutschenreiter is one of the last ones to do it that I remember.
That's 2008.
Yeah, even before that, I don't think we had very many. And what they do is they take your GPA, what you place in the state, and like something like your ACTs or something. It's all a point system for the whole state. So, who's got to build his base up and get out from underneath here?
64-6 with 42 seconds to go here in the first period. Right now, it is Foose down 2-0 here against Kuemper.
He needs to get his leg out from in between there, and he's getting that cross wrist there is going to keep him from building his base. These guys, we have some size discrepancy here. This kid from Kuemper is really tall and lanky, and Cole's kind of short and a little more muscular. Now he's back to his base. Needs to score here with about 15 seconds left. Get away and get a score. Guy's got an arm bar on us. Now we're out. Big, long kid like that on a short body, we need to move more off the bottom. In the first, Cole down 2-0.
You know, Foose, the guy, we talked about this, I think, earlier in the season, really jumped up weight this year from last year.
Yeah, you know, with all the guys, there was a log jam there with quite a few guys. If you look even at our JV varsity from about 26 on up, you got quite a few guys, Radford, McGill, and Goose, and Baker, and you got Riker and Book and Cruson and Maxwell. There's a log jam of guys there. I think at one point he was a little bit too big for 138. Well, then you got Anderson at 45 and Renshaw at 52, so he had to get a little bit bigger to find a spot in the lineup. Gives up a takedown here again. It's 4-0 here. Cole's hanging in. His best spot with this guy is going to be on our feet. This guy's going to be too big for us to wrestle on the mat with. You got to know your mat position here and have a little mat savvy. Ref calls him out. You got a minute 17. You need to be able to score.
4-0. Foose down right now. Overall, the team score is 64-6 in favor of Glenwood. Kuemper Knights picked up their second conference win of the season earlier tonight against Denison.
Glenwood faced Denison earlier this month over at TJ, I think, and the duel was pretty spread out. I don't know.
Yeah, that was when we were supposed to, I think, go to Bayshore that weekend.
Yep. Who's fighting off a tight armbar here? Got to fight out hard. Got to bridge hard. Kuemper fans looking wanting to fall. Good job fighting off your back. Score is now 7-0. Cole's got to get up off his base to get to his feet where he's going to score some points. Good size 60-pounder here from Kuemper. Tough wrist roll on top. Cole, you got to build the base up, build your hips up. You got a hammer lock now. Look, put that in his hip pocket. About 15 seconds left in the second period. Got to stay off your back. Got to fight. That's a tight. And the fall. 7 seconds left in the second period. Kuemper with the fall over Cole Foose. Brett Maurer stepping out at 170. Maurer's returning state qualifier from Glenwood. Been wrestling 60 and 70 most of the year. Bumping up to 170 for tonight.
Yeah, you look down at the conference right now, and you know 3 teams with a 7-1 record. Glenwood just sitting right behind them with 6-2, and that's what you talked about. You know that Lewis Central duel is huge.
Yeah, and through the grapevine, I know Atlantic beat Lewis Central early in the year, and the coaches of Lewis Central were even saying I think some of their lower weights weren't healthy, or something was wrong that night of the duel. They came down here, and you and I watched that duel. That was a pretty impressive duel there with Lewis Central and those lightweights. Maurer's going to try. Yep, figured Brett Maurer likes to do some funk. This little roll there. Looked like the guy had a takedown. Maurer slides out, gets a takedown, and 2 near fall. Yeah, Lewis Central's lower weights got in there, and they came in that night and looked really good. Like I say, Atlantic's been wrestling really good the past couple weeks. Got second. Them and Creston were second and third at John Harris this last weekend. It'll be exciting to go see what happens at that conference tournament. That conference tournament's going to be won on the backside. Whoever gets the most third-place matches, to be honest with you, get that extra match on the backside. Maurer with the takedown here. 6-1 with about a little over a minute left. Good crossface. Yeah, pick that near leg if he keeps driving it. You just got to step through it. He just rolls him over. Looking for the fall. A lot of time left here. Over 50 seconds left. Maurer in tight. You got to go over the top of his head. Get his elbow off the mat. And the fall. Score is going to be 70-12. Glenwood over Kuemper. And that's our duel right now. Score again, 70-12. Glenwood over Carroll Kuemper. Had a lot of forfeits in that duel for Kuemper. Glenwood, had put a couple guys in there. Good to see Dylan Weiser getting a match on senior night. Getting Foose in there. They're all about getting towards these last couple weeks here of the season.
Yeah, Glenwood, as you mentioned earlier, now we've been in 3A for a little while, but Glenwood's mostly been a 2A school for wrestling. So if you just want to kind of explain to the fans out there, I know that are just the casual fan, on how sectionals work in districts or for Class 3A.
So when I was growing up, and the majority of the old school guys around here, we all wrestled in 2A. 2A, we had sectionals and then districts. Sectionals was 6 teams coming in. Top 2 guys from that sectional go to districts, wrestle 2 other top 2 guys. So you have a 4-man bracket for districts, and then those 2 go to state. For 3A is only 64 teams in the state, so 8 teams at a district spread out around the state of Iowa. Those 8 teams, top 2 come out of that. Kind of a weird scenario where, like Nebraska, they have just districts, and they take top 4 out of the state to go for their state tournament. We've hosted, our area has hosted districts. It's mainly been the Council Bluffs schools and the Sioux City schools. This year we got kind of shipped over towards the Des Moines area, and we'll be at Waukee this year. So there'll be some tough matches over there. We'll get to see some Des Moines schools, where traditionally we've been with Council Bluffs. We have Lewis Central, TJ, and then all the Sioux City schools, and maybe Lamar's or Denison comes in.
Yeah, I've noticed in multiple sports this season, really in a calendar year, how the state, for whatever reason, is really trying to switch up districts or sectionals depending on the sport. As you said, mostly it's geographically, but lately I think they've just been throwing some teams here and there to see how things shake up.
Well, and I don't disagree, with how they're doing it. To get a quality state tournament for wrestling, we're in a weird situation in Western Iowa, Southwest Iowa especially, Western Iowa especially, because you only have the Sioux City schools, you only have the Council Bluffs schools. That's it. The further east you move, the bigger the schools are. Des Moines has a lot of schools, and further east, Iowa City and Fort Madison and areas like that.
Cedar Rapids, Waterloo.
So to get a good, well-rounded state tournament, you're going to have to break up the districts because, let's face it, we may not have as many quality wrestlers as the eastern side of the state does. So the eastern side of the state's going to have weight classes where there could be 3 ranked guys, 4 ranked guys in a weight class. And if you want good quality wrestling, you need to move things around to where everybody has a great opportunity. And every year, I trust those guys in the state. Sometimes, when I was coaching, we were 2A my first year, then we were 3A the rest of the time. And we went to Sioux City once. We were in Council Bluffs quite a bit. We saw the same schools every time. Yeah, it got kind of old. But Lewis Central had a good program going on with those guys at the time. We North had some guys. We had some guys. So the quality of wrestling was there. if the quality of wrestling's there, it makes a better
Right.
tournament. And I think that goes the same for football. I think it goes the same for basketball. Fans want to come see quality teams play.
Yep.
I mean, in the old saying, somebody's got to stay at home. I mean, you just do everything you can so you don't stay at home.
We're keeping it here live for you guys because right now they're going to have the youth wrestling program here being introduced. So we will try to get the camera over there as close as possible. And Matt, you know a lot about this youth program here in Glenwood and throughout their years, and got quite a few little kids out there, and
There's
hoping to stick out for this program to keep building up.
Yeah, there's the numbers tonight where they're introducing our youth club tonight. There may not be as many. We had a very busy weekend. Friday night, Glenwood hosted the JV tournament. Turned around on Saturday, and our wrestling club hosted our youth tournament. Had close to 300 wrestlers there. Well-run tournament. A lot of help. A lot of volunteers helped us with that. And then we turned around on Sunday, and we had our middle school duels here in this gym as well. The Glenwood middle school team, we ended up getting third in our in overall. First time in I think a couple of years that we've placed as high as we've done. But got a great group of volunteer parents that keeps this program alive. I've been in and out of it for as long as I can remember. You got former wrestlers coming in there now, Jason Black and the Newberries and Boothies and even Coach Ashy. You got a lot of guys in there now who their sons and daughters are in there wrestling. So keeping it going. That's where it starts for our program. We like to try to keep everything in line from youth club to junior high to high school, and everybody stay on the same page, same techniques and all that stuff. So.
And looking out there, whether it's been Facebook or be working with GlenwoodSports.com, getting emails sent to me on how these little kids are doing the wrestling. There's some talented kids out there.
Yeah. It's like anything. Some of these kids are taking it upon themselves at an early age. If you want to be good at something, you got to spend some time working at it. I know Mason Kohler had a big tournament recently, and I saw him had a picture with a big belt.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have been going to AAU State and AAU Mini Pee Wee State. I know Coach Boothy's boys have been in that, and Newberry's boys been in there. Both those guys, I think, were state place winners, if not state champs. But you can go through the list of the who's who of guys that have wrestled in Glenwood, and there isn't very many of them that didn't go through our wrestling program. Dave Moore and Roger Myers, and we're talking way back for anybody who knows what I'm talking about. Those guys started that stuff off. Guys like that kept the program going. I remember Dave Moore being one of my youth club coaches, and then Ron Jens and Mike Jens, and then Mike Artist, Nick Jameson. You got a list of guys who have just helped out for all these years to keep the program around. And where the school sits now, we had our Astro building there for a while.
Yep.
Now our building is by far probably one of the largest wrestling rooms in the state of Iowa. Down at the old roller skating rink, there's 4 full mats in that place. A lot of room. Josh Enan helps out, the All-American from Nebraska, wrestled in Sheldon, Iowa. He's helping us out as well as coaches. So we got a great facility. Got great coaches. As any sport, you have highs and lows, right. And we just try to make our lows not very low for very long.
Yeah, and credit to Athletic Activity Director Jeff Beeson and the wrestling programs here tonight. Just stuff like this, I think, goes a long way with the youth programs. The kids get to come watch, shake the wrestlers' hands. These kids look up to those kids, and they watch them. They want to be on that mat one day, and it goes by stuff like this.
I had a different growing up. I had a different spot than most kids. I got to sit mat side, and my dad was coaching here. I remember being a kid and watching guys like Bobby Kincaid and Tony Bales and Tim Harms and Jim Strand and those guys wrestling it. And when I was a wee little kid, and then as I got older, guys like Mike Moreno and Chad Stouter and even Jared Cruz and some of these guys. I remember idolizing those guys as a kid and watching them and just thinking, wow, one of these days I'm gonna be on the mat. And I always thought it was a big deal when I was coaching that those kids, I made sure my wrestlers make sure they interact with those guys, because even just a high five to a kid is a huge deal. And that's not just in wrestling, that's in any sport, And I know our football program does a great job with that. I know our basketball program does a great job with that. And honestly, that's why Glenwood is becoming more successful in sports, is because of those relationships that we have.
Yeah, and you talked about this when you first started to talk about the youth wrestling program. It starts with the volunteers, and that's the biggest thing here in Glenwood that I think to continue to be great at a lot of these sports and to continue that, we need the volunteers to step up. And so far, Glenwood's done a good job with that. But as you mentioned, with programs, you go in hills and valleys, and sometimes when it's rough, that's when you really need the volunteers. And sometimes when it's high, it's not as important to have those. So.
Yeah, this is no knock on any other program in this town, but over the years, the trajectory of our sports and all around has gone up. And if you have success in the high school level, kids are gonna go after that sport. You see a lot of kids in the past 10 years influx in baseball. We win a state championship. You see a lot of kids out for baseball. Basketball teams having great seasons so far.
Yep.
The numbers for kids going out for basketball is huge. And what some people may or may not understand is that Glenwood is big enough to have multiple successful programs with a lot of kids. We're big enough to have that. I mean, we're one of the larger schools in this area, and it's good to see.
So we'll switch over to our commercials for a little bit here on GlenwoodSports.com. We won't drop the feed. So there has to be some time in between wrestling between Glenwood and Denison. So we'll take our sponsors here on Glenwood Sports, and Matt and I will be back here on GlenwoodSports.com.
Accurate Insurance is our newest sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 508 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for life and health, commercial, crop and farm, or personal insurance? Then give Accurate Insurance a call today at 712-527-9106 for your free quote today. Stop down and see Scott and Laura Barrett at 401 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Barrett Auto is your local complete auto service car dealership. Barrett Auto Center has a wide variety of vehicles for all your needs. If they don't have it, they'll find it. Also, stop by and see their Hercules tires. They come with a 3-year free road hazard nationwide, along with a 30-day test trial. Check out their website at barrettautocenter.com, or just give them a call at 712-527-5525. Barrett Auto Center. Looking for a place to eat? Well, stop down at El Porton here in Glenwood, Iowa. El Porton is a family-owned Mexican grill located at 612 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for a good bite to eat after the game? Well, stop down and check out their daily specials. El Porton. Looking for a place to bank? Well, check out Glenwood State Bank, because they're back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. Located at 32 North Walnut on the west side of the square in Glenwood, Iowa, Glenwood State Bank has been serving southwest Iowa since 1899. Glenwood State Bank is the bank for all your needs. Check out their online services at glenwoodstatebank.com, or give them a call at 712-527-3157. Looking for a spot to store all your goods? Well, contact Iowa Storage here in Glenwood, Iowa. Glenwood Iowa Storage is located at 50619 220th Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. They offer multiple sizes of storage units along with outdoor concrete storage. Give them a call today at 712-527-3311 and reserve your unit today at Iowa Storage. Are you in need of a new or used vehicle? Then head over to Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Take the new bridge over and talk with Glenwood's Dave Wilson at 402-296-3210 for your next new or used vehicle. Jeff Henry Chevrolet is located in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. No matter who you are, they have your car at Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Check out their line of vehicles and more at jeffhenrychevrolet.com. Jim Hughes Real Estate is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 410 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking to buy, sell, or rent a house? Well, look no further than Glenwood's very own Jim Hughes Real Estate. You can contact Jim Hughes Real Estate at 712-527-3114 or visit their website at jimhughesrealestate.com. Looking for a place to get your dog groomed? Well, stop by Sharp Street Groomers, located at 102 South Walnut, here on the town square in Glenwood, Iowa. Sharp Street Groomers is a place for your dog to get pampered. Whether your dog needs nail trim, bath, cut, or furminated, stop by or give them a call at 712-527-5553. Sharp Street Groomers, we take all shapes and sizes. State Farm Insurance with Marty Stavas is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. State Farm Insurance is located at 10 North Locust here in Glenwood, Iowa. State Farm Insurance offers auto, home, life, and renters insurance. You can give them a call at 712-527-5480 or check out their website at statefarm.com. Accurate Insurance is our newest sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 508 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for life and health, commercial, crop and farm, or personal insurance? Then give Accurate Insurance a call today at 712-527-9106 for your free quote today. Stop down and see Scott and Laura Barrett at 401 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Barrett Auto is your local complete auto service car dealership. Barrett Auto Center has a wide variety of vehicles for all your needs. If they don't have it, they'll find it. Also, stop by and see their Hercules tires. They come with a 3-year free road hazard nationwide, along with a 30-day test trial. Check out their website at barrettautocenter.com or just give them a call at 712-527-5525. Barrett Auto Center. Looking for a place to eat? Well, stop down at El Porton here in Glenwood, Iowa. El Porton is a family-owned Mexican grill located at 612 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking for a good bite to eat after the game? Well, stop down and check out their daily specials. El Porton. Looking for a place to bank? Well, check out Glenwood State Bank, because they're back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. Located at 32 North Walnut on the west side of the square in Glenwood, Iowa. Glenwood State Bank has been serving southwest Iowa since 1899. Glenwood State Bank is the bank for all your needs. Check out their online services at glenwoodstatebank.com or give them a call at 712-527-3157. Looking for a spot to store all your goods? Well, contact Iowa Storage here in Glenwood, Iowa. Glenwood's Iowa Storage is located at 50619 220th Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. They offer multiple sizes of storage units along with outdoor concrete storage. Give them a call today at 712-527-3311 and reserve your unit today at Iowa Storage. Are you in need of a new or used vehicle? Then head over to Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Take the new bridge over and talk with Glenwood's Dave Wilson at 402-296-3210 for your next new or used vehicle. Jeff Henry Chevrolet is located in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. No matter who you are, they have your car at Jeff Henry Chevrolet. Check out their line of vehicles and more at jeffhenrychevrolet.com. Jim Hughes Real Estate is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. located at 410 South Locust Street here in Glenwood, Iowa. Looking to buy, sell, or rent a house? Well, look no further than Glenwood's very own Jim Hughes Real Estate. You can contact Jim Hughes Real Estate at 712-527-3114 or visit their website at jimhughesrealestate.com. Looking for a place to get your dog groomed? Well, stop by Sharp Street Groomers, located at 102 South Walnut, here on the town square in Glenwood, Iowa. Sharp Street Groomers is a place for your dog to get pampered. Whether your dog needs nail trim, bath, cut, or furminated, stop by or give them a call at 712-527-5553. Sharp Street Groomers, we take all shapes and sizes. State Farm Insurance with Marty Stavas is back as a sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com. State Farm Insurance is located at 10 North Locust here in Glenwood, Iowa. State Farm Insurance offers auto, home, life, and renters insurance. You can give them a call at 712-527-5480 or check out their website at statefarm.com. Accurate Insurance is our newest sponsor here on GlenwoodSports.com, located at 508 South Locust Street here.
All right, we're back here on GlenwoodSports.com for the last duel of the evening. Glenwood facing off against Denison, and when you look at the Monarchs' record here, they are 2-6 in the conference, and they are 4-13 overall. So once again, the Rams should be heavily favored. It's the last match here for these group of seniors at home. Weiser, we mentioned earlier, he was one of those guys who wrestled heavyweight, so this time you'll get to see Caleb Sanders. Obviously, the year and career he's had here lately, what a tournament he had this weekend in the Ed Winger Classic. I believe the top 4 kids in the state of heavyweight were at that match. The number 3 kid pinned the number 2 kid in the state was in the semifinals. So Caleb wrestled the 3rd kid in the state and won. So, and then before that, he wrestled the number 4 kid, I believe, in the semifinals and won an ultimate tie break. So, some close matches, but some good competition up there.
Yeah, one of the best things I like about Caleb is how humble he is about things. He's not one to brag about anything. You ask him about those matches, he's very humble again, like I said. I think he knows that when it comes to those ultimate tiebreakers that you can win those matches just as easy as you could lose those matches, and that's what keeps him grounded and keeps him focused. Nothing better to see a kid come out there and finish his career off. We've had a good traditional run of heavyweights. Kenny Lampin coming out at 195 here for what appears to be a forfeit. Yep. Glenwood's had a traditionally good run of heavyweights over the past 20-some years, and it'd be nice to get a heavyweight state champ. You don't see those very often. This match here is going to be kind of interesting. This Jaden Hayden from Denison and Isaac Bales. Isaac ranked 3rd here. Hayden been in and out of the rankings from Denison here. Watched him wrestle up at the Roland Dyer in Atlantic a couple weeks ago. By far probably Denison's best wrestler. Like, again, been in and out of the rankings. Don't think he has too many losses. He's pretty basic. Had some pretty good close matches here. So this will be a pretty good match here.
Hayden, a guy who I coach against every spring. He plays tennis for the Monarchs.
Really?
Yeah, and he's a good tennis player, good athlete.
Big old guy like that. That's kind of cool. Good fireman's by Bales, puts him to his butt. Isaac's not your typical 220-pounder. Hayden, good size height on him. Bales is a little shorter, a little thicker. Very aggressive. Got a monster. I kind of gave up on it. Bales up 4-1 now. That was a good high crash by him. He's kind of go back after a good 2-on-1 here. Step out of bounds. Oh, he didn't give any back points. It's 2-1 here.
Yeah, 220 with Bales' stature. It has to be a tough guy to take down, especially with how strong his legs are.
Yeah, good elbow pass to a single. Get your hips in. Get your hips in. Close. Yeah, his stature, but is not the same as most 225s, but his strength is. I mean, he's probably stronger than most of these guys. You can tell by how big his legs are and how big his chest is. On my days off, I'll be working out at the YMCA, and that kid's down there even before and after practices, and guy will squat a house. And matter of fact, the other day he says, "Hey, can you come spot me?" And I said, "Well, when you go down on these squats, you know I'm not going to pick you up." So, kid works hard in the weight room, and it definitely shows. Another fireman's to his back. Can he hold him? Goes to that half. Isaac's tough when these pinning situations. He's got to get on his toes, bury his chest on top. About 10 seconds, that calls a fall. We talked about youth club, and you and I were talking about it just a while ago. Here's a kid, Isaac, who, I'll be honest with you, when he was in youth club, I don't know how many matches he actually won. He was always a bigger kid, always had to wrestle older, bigger kids. And as he got older into junior high, he finally said, "Hey, I'm done. I'm going to go hit the weights," and he did. And from his freshman year on, he really dedicated to the weight room. He's on a really good diet, to be honest with you. Even last year, he was cutting weight. But talk about a kid who never gave up on himself. Shot by Sanders here. Never gave up on himself through high school, and he's hopefully comes out of high school being a 2-time state place winner.
Yeah, right now I believe ranked 5th, depending on what rankings you look at. But overall, a good career, and he's having a good senior season here at 220.
And like I said, one of the best rugby players you'll see in the Midwest, which most people don't know much about rugby around here. Sanders getting in quite a few takedowns here.
And Sanders will have once again another big matchup, probably in the finals. Obviously this weekend, Matt, and we talked about that during the break, ultimate tie break. If you look at the interview after Sanders was defeated by McConkey a week ago, Tuesday, as you mentioned, very humble guy. Yeah. And just said, sometimes the flip of the coin, and you don't know who's on top or who's on bottom, and that's the way it is sometimes.
It's just the way it is. For Caleb to be, he's very successful now at heavyweight. Don't get me wrong. For him to go against McConkey this weekend, it comes down to the takedown. Especially with those two guys. Whoever gets a takedown that first period, it's going to be hard to score any more points because they're both strong kids. They both get out very well from underneath. They both can ride very well. So, Sanders has got to get on his offense right away, get that takedown. I like to see this year especially, I've seen Caleb shoot a lot more takedowns than I have in the past. He does a great job getting out from underneath. He can ride, very well. He can turn people on top. But, heavyweights, people say, well, that's boring. Well, you're only a boring heavyweight if you want to be. And we've seen him shoot takedowns. We've seen him do all sorts of action.
How aggressive he was at the Council Bluffs tournament this year really impressed me. And a tournament like that right out of the gate, you saw the improvement he made from last year to this year.
The kid is probably one of the most agile, 280-pound kids you've ever seen. Not only is he freakishly strong, but he's also freakishly quick. You see him running sprints in the wrestling room and in the gym, and he's one of the top 2 guys every time.
Yeah, and that's one reason why he's going to go play football next year.
Exactly.
At a good program.
Sanders up 11-3 now, going into the second period, chose down.
There's another guy, another school that was a Bono up there, might be giving Sanders a call saying, "Hey, can you go play 2 ways for me?"
It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, Bono's got a good team going on up there. South Coast State got Gross and returning national finalists, guys ranked 1 in Division 1 at 133. This last weekend, that kid bumped up, wrestled Wyoming, and wrestled 141-pound number 1 ranked wrestler in Wyoming. Got to appreciate a program where 2 kids set their personal, I don't know what you want to call it, record, personal pride aside, and give the fans something they want to see. So that was pretty cool. Sanders with the fall there, going it up 18-0.
Sanders' last match here in Glenwood, right now ranked number 1 in the state at 285 Class 3A. A kid who's going to go play football next year at South Dakota.
Yeah, they got a good recruit there because that kid's only going to get bigger. Dalton book out against Juan Chino. Chino had a pretty good tournament at Roland Dyer. I'm assuming him and Bell have wrestled each other more than once. Bell with a quick takedown here.
This is a matchup between a junior for Glenwood and a freshman for the Monarchs.
Good double. Good finish.
You talked about this earlier. You know, a lot of these times in the lower weights, when you have a junior going against a freshman, that's a big difference.
Well, just maturity-wise, you know, there's not very many 106-pound kids that are 17, 18 years old. Usually those guys that are pretty good. Dalton's got to do a better job of sprawling, just kind of out-horsing Chino right now. He needs to get his legs straight back. There, he got his leg back. Now he's got to look for a go behind. He's got a cross arm here. No point. Still 4-2 with a minute left. He's sucking that cross arm in, but he hasn't got any points yet. He's got the shoulder planted. Kinda. There he goes. Takes him over for some near fall here. Kind of in a bad position. Needs to readjust. They're out of bounds. If he pulls him in, we get the fall here. Got this new high school rule that I don't know if I'm a fan of. Where college, you can have any point of your body in bounds, and the rest of them will continue out of bounds. High school has a different rule where if a guy's on his back, you can't be on your toes. If you have it on your knees, it can still continue wrestling and getting back points. And the minute you go up to your toes and things like that, they'll call you out of bounds. So I know they're trying to implement rules for action. That's one, if you're going to deal with college rules, make them college rules or just stay with the old ones. The problem is with that rule is no, like we have enough room in our gym.
Right.
You go to another small gym, got an escape there, 9-3 at the end of the first. You go to a small gym, smaller schools, they don't have the mat space or anything else. Chino defers. Oh, no, sorry. Book defers. Chino's going to go down. Scores 9-3. Rams up 18-0 on the Monarchs. Match scores 9-3. Got to get a good return here. Kind of off to the side again. Got to extend his leg. Again, we kind of got a goofy cradle. He's getting back points. Got a leg hooked. Got a fall there. Kind of a scramble type position. Dalton gets the fall.
So that put the Rams up now 24-0 over the Monarchs of Denison. And it'll be Huey, the freshman, coming out for Glenwood, taking on another freshman, that Medina, for the Monarchs against Huey for Glenwood. So two freshmen going out here at 113.
Good shot off the whistle by Huey there. Coming off to the side, got a head lever.
A lot of good experience this year, Matt, with these freshmen and sophomore in our lower weights.
Yeah, Bell, Huey, and Case, even we'll throw Book in there for being a sophomore. You know, those guys have battled this whole season. Nice tight armbar for the fall for Huey in the first period. Those guys have battled. And, again, we go to tough tournaments where those guys see tough wrestlers. In the conference, these lightweights are awful tough. They may not have the most perfect record right now, but they've gained a lot of experience, and they get better every time you watch them wrestle. You see good stuff coming out of them. Riker Case going out against Colton. Oh, that's going to be Chino. Baltazar Chino here, senior.
So here we go with another one of those matchups when a lower weight at 120, and you got a freshman going to give the senior, and that's quite a bit of different in age, and as you mentioned, maturity, strength, everything.
Riker Case reminds me of the way he's built and stuff is how Tyler Maxwell was built when he was in high school. Tyler started off at 106 and was a state place winner for us as a freshman. Moved all the way up to 145 by the time he was a senior. Riker's got a big frame on him. I don't think he's going to be anywhere near 120 next year. Good takedown by Casey on top, 2-0 now. You guys going to that head lever a lot tonight. Kind of like that. Keep that tight waist, jamming over.
I believe Case moved in from Kansas.
Yep. Yeah, I talked to him a couple times this year. He's out of Kansas, loves wrestling. Talked about how he went to several camps as a kid and went to several camps here in high school, junior high. So good pickup, good move in from for the Rams here. Good tight waist, got that far wrist. He's got a tilt here. He kind of got out of position. Step up in half.
20 seconds to go here in the first period. It's 2-0, Case of Glenwood on top of Chino.
You know, one thing, freshmen at all weight classes, it doesn't matter. One thing they have a difficult time with is overthinking. And that's just comes with experience. You know, a kid been used to wrestling youth club and junior high and get away with almost being manic out on the mat to get into a high school level, and that manic type of wrestling kind of doesn't work as much. So they got to learn to control their emotions, control their thoughts, and make sure everything they do has a method behind it.
Especially on a night like tonight when you have 2 matches in a night. You know, if something happens the first one, you got to mentally be prepared to come back and, you know, wrestle tough in that second one. Or vice versa. If you dominate the first one, you can't get too high up there and then come back in that second match. And
so he's got a good hammer lock here, and these are the kind of things I'm talking about. He knows what to do. He's so excited about being there. He's not sinking stuff in. Got both legs in here, kind of grapevine. If he pushes hips in, lift the head off the mat, he's gonna get a fall here. I got out of it. Instead of going underneath the head, he needs to go over the top of the head and get that arm off the mat. Guy in and gets the fall.
Would be kind of like one of those things where if you just kind of take it, slow down a little bit, it'll come easier to you.
Yep. Comes with experience, and Riker's done a good job this year. He's getting better and better every time I watch him. But that freshman manic, I'm going to tell you this. I was probably one of the first ones myself. Dalton Book out here right now going against Colton Johnson, 2 sophomores. Book, again, Trinity State qualifier. Good shuck by there by Book. He does that really well. Got a good crossface butcher series.
Book moved up, 3 weight classes from last year to this year. We talked about a little bit earlier. And
you know, and here's the thing about Dalton last year. He struggled there at 106, freshman. Didn't have the greatest of record going into districts, but he believed in himself, believed in his coaches, got wound up, and qualified for the state tournament. And a lot of times, I was a big advocate of that when I was coaching, was when it comes to districts, it doesn't matter what your record is. It's 0-0. So, you know, the guys that show up that want to go usually have the most success. You see many people who have outstanding records come to the district tournament or sectional tournament, and you know, whatever the case may be, they don't qualify. You know, burned out, tough district, tough sectional, things like that. You have a lot of underdog stories through a lot of tournaments and stuff.
And sometimes it feels like through the past, whether it be sectionals or districts for Glenwood, you know, guys always run into the same kid who they sometimes can't beat.
Yep.
And unfortunately that happens. And like as you mentioned, now that Glenwood comes to a different district or vice versa, opens up things more a little bit.
You know, I could go back through our program and talk of many stories of guys who got beat by somebody during the regular season and ends up beating a guy at districts or beating a guy at sectionals. One of my favorite stories is Dane Lovell his senior year. Wrestled with Kinsella from Creston. Didn't get close. Beats him at districts in overtime, and then beats him in the state finals. And wrestled that guy probably 4 or 5 times throughout the season, and beats him the last 2 times. Book out in front 2-0, end of the first period.
36-0, Glenwood on top of Denison here in the last duel of the evening. Senior night in Glenwood.
You know, this is kind of a weird. This was the last crew of kids that I taught when I was a 5th grade teacher. Was this class? I had Anthony Sherry in my class, and I had Cruson in my class that last year before I retired.
126-pound weight class here at the Glenwood. Cruson against who is that for the Monarchs?
Books.
Oh, sorry, Book and Johnson, 2 sophomores. 36-0, Glenwood leads as a team, and right now it's 2-0 Book.
Just keeps driving those hips forward. They're gonna cut him. Not a bad decision. He did a great slide by right off the bat. I'd like to see him. There it is again. Out of bounds. Coaches are yelling, "Don't tie up with him." That's okay. I'd like to see Dalton get going on his feet and see some takedowns here. Gotta get your hips heavy. Bump him to his hip. Now he's got to be able to score from there. There you go. Nice job. Book up 4-0 with a little less than a minute left in the second period. Get off to the side and run that half. Kind of fighting yourself when you're running a half on the left side, your body's on the right. Again, do a better job of, we're doing a good job of putting weight forward on their hands, but we've got to bring the hips down. Got a cross wrist down there from underneath, trying to do that tilt we've seen a couple times tonight. He's got a base up, and he's going to try to roll through it here. Good tight waist. Stone Green. Yep, not going to disagree. We got to get going more and be more active on top. About 13 seconds left here in the second period. Again, doing a good job of forward, but he's got to bring those hips down. Now, once he's got his hips down, now we got to start working side to side, working for pinning combinations.
4-1 after the second period. Book of Glenwood up on Johnson right now. 2 sophomores going at it here in the Hawkeye 10 Conference. Guys that could face each other this Saturday.
Yeah, 26. Book should be probably considered somewhere in the top 5 seeds there.
They seed the top 6 in it, something like conference.
Sometimes it just depends on those weight classes and how deep they are. 6-2 right now. Yeah, there's been times, that now with track wrestling that keeps a toll of our records and basically has it all planned out of who beat who. It's pretty much pre-seed when you walk in.
Potentially dangerous call there.
Now we're going to go, Book's going to go neutral. It's going to be 8-4 now on the release. Minute 15 left in the third. Denison in on a shot. Needs to bounce him here and get in a short offense position. Good job return there. Keep your leg back. Head in the hole. Easy 2. You're actually wanting to cradle, but they kind of got out of position. Good. Cuts him again. 10-5. About 45 seconds left here.
10-4. Glenwood Book right now on top of Johnson of Denison.
About 30 seconds left. Denison in on a shot. Book's got to bounce him and get behind him. And he does with the cradle. Got to lower his chest and put his head in the side and get that stacked over.
Glenwood gets this win. They'll finish their dual season 16-3 on the year. 2 conference losses. One against Lewis Central and the other coming against Atlantic, if I'm correct.
Yeah. They're still in the hunt for dual team as well. We'll see how the rankings come out and things like that. But, you know, they've had some injuries this year. They've had some people moving and adjusting some weight classes. Still pretty solid dual team, you know. Having that only a couple losses in a dual season, you know, that's pretty good to go by. Sitting at 6-2 in the conference and 14-3 overall. The other loss from Plattsmouth earlier this season.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Brian Cruson out on the mat right now.
The Plattsmouth loss, that was one of those ones where some injuries and some people out of town.
Yeah.
So it's one of those matches you wish you could get back that you could see a full lineup.
Yeah. Cruson going out against Eddie Veranito, who's a freshman. Yeah, and that stuff kind of happens where you run into situations like that, but yeah, it's definitely a duel that I'm sure Coach Ashley wants back by the end of the season. Tight cradle there by Cruson.
Cruson looking for the fall here on senior night. 132-pound weight class, 106 to go here in the first period. 3 back points there for Cruson. Should be 5-0 here. What timeout?
Yeah, Brian's stuck with the wrestling program all 4 years of high school. Guy's really put in a lot of work this year and got himself on the varsity mat. And good kid. I'd say he's a real good hard worker.
$40-0 right now. The Rams on top of the Monarchs. Here at the 132-pound weight class. One started at, was it 220?
195.
195. That's right, with Lampin.
You know, Kenny Lampin, there's another kid. Guy's been number 2 guy through his high school career. Now he's got an opportunity to wrestle, and I'm sure Kenny wishes he had one more season left. He's placed high for him in these tournaments at the Ed Winger.
Yeah.
He places up at Ames. You know, I'm sure a lot of guys who saw Kenny Lampin step out on the mat or saw his record went, that kid's not going to place, and he's proved everybody wrong. So it'd be a neat deal to watch Kenny Lampin finish out his career and get to the state tournament.
Yeah, the guy you mentioned, I know early on this season, a guy who won quite a few JV tournaments coming up, and then got a varsity shot here, as you mentioned, with injuries and people moving around. And once he has, he's wrestled well.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes that's all a lot of kids need is just an opportunity. You know, you're behind. Kenny's been behind Bales. He's been behind Sherry. He's been behind all these, got Hagstrom and all these guys in the past, and now he gets his shot and he's in there.
7-1, Cruson right now on top with the start of the second period.
Yeah, get his hips out. Yep, there's a warning, and he's out. Into a I better tell Coach Ashley I'd consider that a milkshake. What we call once you stand up and you turn it and you take a guy down, we call that a milkshake. A guy that does that, coaches usually buy a milkshake. I might have to say Cruson got one there. Good armbar by Brian.
I've seen Coach Gregory post that quite a few times. So.
Milkshakes. Gregory must be paying for him then. Cruson with the fall there. Good job on senior night, Brian. Team score 46-0 going into one 38.
Really, Matt, going into conference, I kind of like these duels tonight because it's giving these lower weights some good confidence going into the weekend. And like you said, there's a lot of times in wrestling that's huge.
Yeah.
So,
And again, this month is the end of the regular season. Start of next month, good bear hug. Step in, bring your hips. There you go. End of this month is the end of your regular season. Start of February is what we call, your tournament season. Guys that have the confidence, guys that catch the fever, I guess, are the guys that go on and are successful. Tanner needs to push his hips down to the mat and stretch them out. Ooh, got called for a full Nelson, I bet. Yep.
2-0, Maxwell right now with the lead.
I know Coach Ashe is probably in the same boat as I was. You get to this time of season, you try to peak. You try to make sure you peak at the right week and you peak at the right time, and you work on problem areas. Practices aren't your intensity levels there, but when it comes to like live wrestling, that's not as much. You're just working on problem areas, making sure your bodies are healed and between your ears is healed. He threads what we call thread the needle. He takes that right arm and threads it. Got a good butcher. Now he's got to get his chest on top here. We're kind of off to the side and see where our body's hanging off there. And he needs to get more chest pressure on top. Got the fall there.
Good win there by Maxwell on senior night. There's a guy I'll coach here in the spring as well, tennis.
We got half the wrestling team out of tennis. Team score 52-0.
It'll be Anderson's last time out here on the mat, in Glenwood at least, with the Glenwood singlet. Guy who we talked about earlier, but I'll mention it again in case you just joined us for this duel. Anderson's going for this weekend his third Hawkeye 10 title, something that only 5 Glenwood Ramps have ever done as far as getting 3. Pretty good wrestler here in Anderson and having a great senior campaign.
Yeah, he'll be definitely in some elite company. He'll have a good. Kilgore will be back there from Lewis Central. Those two, if you guys didn't watch that match last time we were here, that was one of the best high school matches I'd seen in a long time. Nice single to a cradle. He's got to pull hard and lift hard. Got out of position there. So, that'll be another marquee match there. Those finals, there'll be a lot of good finals matches. You got hopefully McConkey and Sanders. You got Anderson and Kilgard. Not to mention, we're just throwing out names
right
off of the two guys we know for sure. But there'll be a lot of good final matches there.
And a short drive, as Matt mentioned earlier, for all you Ram fans, just up at Lewis Central. So all the schools in the Hawkeye 10, that's a pretty good chance for Glenwood to get a lot of fans up there.
Yeah, there's plenty of room up there. They got a nice big gym, too. Anderson up 5-1 now with about a minute left. Nice sweep single. This guy's just going to kind of ball up on us here. Kind of survive. Nice little crossface there, just to let you know he's there. I don't mind that. I've watched Trevor grow up through the wrestling program. So, talk about youth club wrestlers. Trevor and his dad been down that youth club room forever. Trevor was a real shy kid growing up, real soft-spoken, didn't say much, still doesn't say much. But I always liked watching him wrestle. Like, he was really tenacious, and he was fun to watch on the mat. Every year, he kept improving and improving and improving. He's definitely one that you don't want to bet against. He's proved that in the state tournaments the past 2 years. That's tight.
Into the first period, unfortunately, because ever since I came back after graduating from Iowa State and came back on the wrestling mic, he's been one of my favorite kids to broadcast from freshman year to now. Always talk about effort. He's always going out there and giving 100% effort. I think he's real good offensive and defensive, both wrestlers. So
He's a student of the game as well. I mean, he listens and he you tell him about a problem area and he goes and fixes it. He's a great student of the sport. He's always evolving, always learning. You watch him this year, his offense on his feet is totally different than it was last year. So we've discussed that. Like one of his best shots is a high crotch, and he's got this really good single leg going, and he's keeping his competition guessing because he's been able to go on both sides on people, and that's what you do to become successful. Doesn't know where he's going to go to college yet, but wherever he goes, I'm sure he's going to wrestle, and I'm sure colleges are biting at the bit to get a guy like Trevor in there.
7-1, Anderson has the lead with 1:30 to go in the second period. Rams up 52-0 against the Monarchs.
There's that single, just drops him. You might see mean Trevor here in a minute. Got a good bottom leg Turk. Yeah, he's broke this guy. And this is no knock to the kid from Denison, but sometimes that's the thing in wrestling when you break somebody mentally to where they're like, "Ooh, I'm done." And Trevor keeps that constant pressure on people and he's done that since he was a freshman, where people don't like wrestling him because they know he goes hard the whole time. I mean, he's in shape and he's red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just shows how hard he pushes his body. That he's fair skinned. Renshaw out at 152. Kane Langfeld, sophomore.
58-0 now. Glenwood with the lead over Denison.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. And not that I know people get upset sometimes when you see this, but one thing for Jordan, for him to be successful in the postseason, is he's getting going on his takedowns. Sometimes we see this in matches where you see a guy who lets you up, takes you down, lets you up, takes you down type of thing. I wouldn't mind seeing Renshaw get 2-3 takedowns and then go back to his bread and butter and taking care of business.
9-2, Renshaw with the lead right now. 1:15 to go in the first period.
Yep, just go back to your fundamentals. You know, and that's the other thing we talk about as the season winds down. You guys that watch wrestling, Renshaw at the fall with 102 in the first period. You watch NCAAs, you watch high school wrestling, you watch the finals on TV. You'll see the fundamental basics is what guys you'll see in championship matches. You know, you don't see anything flashy. You don't see any guys doing any weird, crazy moves. You just see high-paced, fundamental wrestling. Foose with a forfeit here. I think we got one more match.
Maurer and Sherry, I think.
Jacob Irwin. Some of these names, guys from Denison, there's been around for a while. Irwin's a name that rings a bell from around there. Hayden's the one that you hear quite a bit about from the Denison area. Double tie up here. Needs to break out of that.
Maurer, another guy that was battling some injury this year, but overall, I think Brett's having a good season for Glenwood.
Yeah, Brett makes me laugh because he is so athletic. Like, he is crazy athletic. And you see that when he wrestles because he does some unorthodox things. He's got really good athletic ability. And he's raw. He's a raw wrestler. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Been in and out of the rankings this year. Yeah, he's state qualifier. Here he comes again. Sometimes Maurer does some really funky things and he gets away with it, and sometimes he does some funky things where he gets caught up in goofy stuff like this. There you go. So this is what I'm talking about with Maurer being athletic. He will, because he's so raw, he will literally try anything you show him. And sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's bad. When Brett Maurer wrestles like Brett Maurer, he's tough. He's definitely tough. Kid's a monster on top when he gets on top of people.
Maurer down right now, 8-5 with 5 seconds to go here in the first period.
You know, what he needs to do now is shake the cobwebs out. It's going to be 11-5. He's down 6. Shake it out. I mean, he's kind of like, you can tell right now, like,
Frustrated more than anything.
Well, you know, he went after a couple goofy moves he probably shouldn't have. So he's not out of the match, but he's giving the kid a little bit of confidence. And Brett needs to get away right away, get that takedown, get some back points, get himself back in the match. You know, let's not do anything silly. Let's just get back into scoring points and doing what I do best.
Kind of like talked about earlier, the fundamental aspect of it.
Yep. He's out now. We're down 5. Get a takedown. Get an elbow pass. This is a sprawl. Giving up a takedown now, 13-6. He needs to get himself back in the match a little bit. Two little silly moves at the beginning. He's going to kind of just got to do more work now. A little over a minute left. Maurer down 13-6. He just needs to get a solid escape, get a takedown this period. That puts him within 4. Now he's got a reversal. Now he's got this head and arm roll, and he's gonna hip into him straight to his back. He's gonna start getting back points there. He's got to be careful he doesn't pin himself. All right, now he's in a lot better position.
30 seconds to go in the second period.
Now, if Maurer just slips a half right now on this guy, he'll pin him. He's got that bottom leg Turk. He's pinned. So, see, kind of, he's shaking his head. He knows he can almost probably hear me. Yeah, he kind of put himself in danger a couple of times in that match and had to dig himself out of the hole. You know, he's probably not the most happiest guy right now, but at this point, at this time of the year, a win's a win.
So Sherry will wrestle someone tonight.
Wyatt Cobb.
76-0 right now, final match of the evening.
Sherry nursing a little injury here, just coming back to the lineup. This duel missed 2 tournaments, a couple duels here. Good takedown, load him up for a tilt now. Give him 3 back points, going to be up 5-0 with just under 1:30 left in the match.
Anthony ranked second in the state at 182 pounds.
You know, only had one other guy so far in Glenwood history be a 4-time place winner, and that was Mitch Artist. And Anthony's got an opportunity this year to join that company. That's pretty elite, regardless of what school or what program you come out of. 4-time medalist in any sport,
right,
is difficult. And not only has Anthony done that, but he's been in the top 4 all 4 years so far. And Mitch kind of climbed the ladder, and but Anthony's that's pretty impressive to be a top 4 in your state, in your weight class.
Yeah, I was sitting down with some wrestling fans this week, and I was talking about you look at Artis' career and a lot of guys he had to go up against at the state. Remind me a lot of guys who Anthony's had to go. With Max Lyon now this year, Shapiro, an outstanding wrestler, and as far as good wrestlers in the weight class.
Yeah, those two have a lot of similarities when it comes to their career. Both of them have very few losses, and the losses they do have weren't to anybody who, I don't think in the past 3 years Anthony's not been beat by a guy who wasn't nationally ranked.
Right.
Mitch, last 2 years, his career was that same. Sherry with the fall there, and Glenwood pitches a shutout, 82-0 for Glenwood over Denison on senior night.
So the Rams finish up their dual season, picked up 2 wins tonight. I believe that gives them, 16-3 then on the year overall.
It puts them 8-2 in the conference. Looks like there's going to be a weird tie going on in the conference tournament. I don't know how they're going to end up doing this with Crest and Lewis Central.
Each one beat each other, right?
Yeah. So it'll be a weird one to see who wins the Hawkeye 10. Speaking of Hawkeye 10, though, Saturday's going to be a big one.
Yeah, Saturday at Lewis Central. Wrestling starts at what time?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. So you Ram fans, get up there to watch Glenwood. Not only Glenwood, if you like wrestling, go watch that. Matt talked about it earlier. To win the Hawkeye 10 is one of the best tournaments of the season, and this year should be no different. Starting at 106 all the way to 285. Good competition up at Lewis Central. And then other than that, thank our sponsors. Thank Matt once again for helping me broadcast on Glenwood Sports tonight, and keep following Glenwood Sports on Twitter, Facebook, and on our website for the rest of the season as these Rams get ready for tournament time and when it really counts.
Yep.